welcome back, Amador County. Joined this morning with author Millie Jones. Good morning.
Good morning, Kam.
How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Yeah, thanks for coming into the studio. Lucy Hackett, good to see you.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
We're happy to be here.
Millie, tell us about the book that you put together.
Well, I wrote the book. It took me quite a few years because I lived out at a ranch in Buena Vista for 30 years. And while there, I thought about all the things that I enjoyed and worried about at the hotel.
Okay.
And it was haunted. Everyone knew it. I didn't when I bought it. No one told us. It is now when you buy the hotel, you must write that in there.
Oh.
And when I sold it, I had to write it in there because Mrs. Tillery and her group bought it, and it had to be on the deed.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking about when Millie and her husband Bill owned the Hotel Ione on Main Street from about 1977 to 1985.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And when you say it was haunted, can you give us some
Oh,
experience?
boy. Well, it was, the first one was Memorial Day Sunday. It had been very hot, and we had two men come in with hard hats, and they sat at the counter, and they left the door open. And my usual expression was, close the door. And so before they could get to it, this old gentleman walked in, and he was just in a heavy wool shirt with wooden buttons, and his hair was white and funny looking and stiff. He had gray chinos on with dirty knees, and his shoes are very interesting because they were made out of what we used to call oilcloth when I was a kid. It's a table cover. And I was very interested in those. He didn't make any noise when he walked. And the first table he went by, now there was 15 people in there, and they all witnessed this. The first table he went by, the lady shivered, and I thought, that is an indication that his aura is very large, and he has touched hers and made her shiver. The next one, the lady went up against the wall because he smelled like a wet dog. It was nasty. So then he kept coming, and I had an off-duty waitress at the table with me, and I said, look at this guy. I don't think he's alive. She said, if you don't stop that, I'm going to quit. I said, but look. And she went, oh, yeah. So he kept coming, and I said to him, you want a room? You want a cup of coffee? He needs a bathroom. How about a telephone? And his eyes were kind of as bluish gray like a sheepdog. And I could tell he couldn't see me. And I said, I'm going to touch him. And I did. Put my right arm on his right shoulder. It went right through him and stuck out his back. Every hair goes up.
Sure.
And
at that point.
He was soft inside, like Angora fur. I know now it was static electricity in him. And he just kept coming. He didn't know I had touched him. And I got afraid that he'd stick to me like nylon out of the dryer, and I'd suffocate. So I withdrew my arm, and like a dummy, I could have left the door closed. I'd have seen him go through it. I didn't. I reached back because he was so old, and I opened the door, and he went out in the hall and disappeared. Well, we ran all over looking for this whole fella, but walking like that, he can't go very fast. And so at 6 o'clock that evening, I asked the priest, if this and this are different, why weren't there clothes lying there when he disappeared? And the priest said, well, because when Adam and Eve were in the garden, God said, cover yourself. You'll never see a naked ghost.
So ghosts do, I guess. Well, and you did find out after doing some research that the oilcloth shoes were placed on people after they died, so they weren't buried with bare shoes.
Oh, gotcha.
Because they believed if you wouldn't walk the streets of heaven if you were buried with bare feet. So his boots were very important. Sometimes it took months to get there by stage. He ordered them. He had to leave them to his family. Wow, And so the funeral put those little slippers on him. And they had one seam from the toe up, like, just a little slip on. So that took me a long time to find out about those slippers.
Right.
Yeah, and I've seen Butch Cassidy and the Dalton boys in their coffins, they're barefoot.
Wow.
Barefoot, huh?
And of course, we have Boot Hill.
Yeah,
Right.
They have their boots on.
It seems like you remember this just like it was yesterday. It seems very clear to you.
It's very clear.
It was really fun. I was able to, since Millie's eyesight wasn't good enough for her to get a digital book together so that other people could share it.
Sure.
I offered to edit and retype it for her into digital form. And so not only is it about ghosts, but about we can talk about this depending on how much time we have, but about learning to run the the cafe and the saloon and the dining hall and all of the escapades of trying to get all that to work.
Yeah.
But we were able to get it in digital form so that folks can read it. You can buy it on Amazon.com. It's only 99 cents, called the Hotel Ione. And so all these ghost stories and Millie's tales, and Millie's and her family were not the only ones to see the ghosts when they were there. So so it's available for everybody, and it's got wonderful Ione history in it.
Right.
It was really a lot of fun to work
It
on.
was fun. We slid down the stairs on cardboard.
The big staircase.
We couldn't
Right.
find it long enough, so some funeral parlor, and they got the coffin cardboard.
Right?
I think Alan has that graphic. I'm not sure if
Right.
there were a drawing that Millie did. Millie illustrated a number of scenes from the hotel, and she did a drawing of herself sliding down the staircase
Actually,
on cardboard.
It was Chris, my nephew, really sliding that on that.
In that photo,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was a lot of fun.
What a great story.
Yeah, you'll love it. You had to get it, read it.
Yeah, and for 99 cents, everybody's got 99 cents.
Right.
Well, and that was our idea. Actually, there is not a way to put a free book on Amazon, but 99 cents is their bottom price, and the idea was for people to get a chance to read it.
I hope someday it'll come out in hardcover or soft cover or whatever. Be nice.
On paper.
Yeah, paper. I
How
have
many,
a lot of people who
how many
want it.
years does your story cover?
Well, I was there 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also has recipes.
Oh, yeah.
Millie put her famous bread pudding, her scampi recipe.
Yeah.
There's photos from the menu, and that's pretty fun to read.
Yeah.
The steak dinner for
Yeah.
$5.75 or
Yeah.
whatever you guys charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Almaden wine proudly served.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Right.
And there's a song.
Okay.
Something sang to me through the air. Some beautiful woman's voice. The jukebox was off. I checked the lobby. I checked all the way in the dining room. And I came back in the kitchen and the voice was still going. So I wrote it down. And I had to remember the tune. I laid awake all night. My husband said, "Can't you sleep?" "No, I kind of remember a song." "I beg your pardon." And when Dennis Yancey, who was the pianist in the area.
Dennis Yancey, and many people know him.
He said to me, "I can't get it out of your head." So he sent me up to Jackson, the music store, to get a book with the lines in it, sight book.
Music score.
Yeah. So I brought it down. He said to go in the bar now and press the keys. A, B, C, what? Oh, yeah, okay. I did that, and I got it down, and he put it in music form, so it's in there.
Great. Well, Millie, thanks for coming in the studio.
It was
Lucy,
my
thanks
pleasure.
for coming
You're
here,
welcome.
and,
We're happy to be here.
It sounds like a great story. Check it out on Amazon.com. And again, it's
Hotel
called
Ione.
Hotel Ione.
By Millie Jones.
Right. With that, we're going to head up to Kim and Melissa up at Claypool's.
Okay.
Kim, Melissa, take it.